Hey, what's up guys? John here. Will gas vehicles be banned in America?
New rules that will ultimately ban the sale of gas-powered cars in the state by 2035.
We will be the first jurisdiction in the world to require all new cars to be sold to be alternative fuel cars.
About 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, USA Today put this article out. Will there be an EV mandate? Will gas vehicles be banned? It's complicated. Then today, about an hour ago, President Joe Biden signed into law that half of all new car sales be electric in the next 5.5 years.
The Biden administration's Environmental Protection Agency formulated to push electric vehicles on the American people.
Biden trying to control what type of cars Americans will buy.
According to LA Times, the Environmental Protection Agency rule, which would begin taking effect in the year 2027, in 2.5 years, would require car manufacturers to increase sales of electric vehicles while cutting carbon. So you start to think about this. If they have to, by law, increase their sales, they're going to drop their prices to offload this inventory. And so when you look at a couple moving variables, one of which is going to become more expensive. Look, this regulation will make new gas-powered vehicles unavailable or prohibitively expensive for most Americans. It's going to cost Americans more to service their gas-powered cars. Get car parts is going to become more and more challenging. It's going to get harder to sell these vehicles. You have to ask yourself, if that's happening, and EV makers by law have to sell off these cars, you're just going to see a race to the bottom in the auto market. But it goes a lot bigger than the auto market because this is coming for homes as well. In this video, I'm going to break it down and show you exactly what is coming to the U.S. economy and exactly what you can do to position yourself for it. Please hit the like button, hit the like button. YouTube will share this content, educate more people about what's going on in America. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in a credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. Take a look at this. So, and this is absolutely shocking. It says, Biden unveils plan to boost EVs, phase out gas cars. So I personally believe we are going to start to see this, and we're going to see a ban on gas-powered vehicles. I mean, look at where it's going. Electric vehicles will account for 62 to 86% of global sales in the next 5.5 years, with China reaching an EV market share of at least 90% by then. Well, as that's happening, Biden administration offers fewest offshore oil and gas leases in history. They're also pushing away from gas in more than one way, not just the car bans, but also the access to that oil. 9 states plan for gas-powered car sales. So this came out August 17th, but just to show you how fast this is going, from August 17th till, this just came out, 12 states planning on gas-powered cars. In, we'll call it 11 years, 10.5 years. So these states are following California's lead. Vermont, New York, Washington, and Oregon adopted ACC2 in 2022, thus committing to new gas car phase-outs in those states 2035. Massachusetts, Virginia, Rhode Island, Maryland, they've also adopted this as well. So you have all of these states that are pushing to remove gas-powered vehicles. So how can gas-powered cars maintain their value given all the headwinds coming to the industry? I don't see it happening. I think these cars are going to be worth, parts. That's what I think. I think we're going to see cars drop in value like a meme coin. The governors of Maryland, Rhode Island made similar announcements in March and May, respectively. Maryland Governor Wes Moore said in a statement that it's a major step in the state's acceleration to improve air quality and combat the effects of climate. California was the first state to adopt the Advanced Clean Air 2 rule, which at least 8 other states have now embraced. So you see this. California plans to specify that 35% of new car sales need to be zero emissions by about a year and a half, with that number rising to 68%. So we're all going in this direction. Now, what I find very fascinating is the amount of disruption that's going to be happening here. Now, who's going to be servicing electric vehicles when they break down? The manufacturer. Tesla will be servicing them. Ford will be servicing them. GM. They don't need the small mom and pop mechanic anymore. So the automotive service technicians and mechanics workforce in 2021 was 768,000 people. Almost 800,000 people. In just the auto parts space, 871,000. Add those two up, you're looking at over 1.5 million people that could soon be getting pushed out of the industry. Then on top of this, look at this. Since gas-powered cars contain many more mechanical components than electric cars do, there are more car parts to maintain, resulting in higher costs for the first 3 years. They're really selling this. But what many people don't realize is as these car prices start to fall and car parts get more and more expensive in the short term as it's getting all phased out, the impacts that this is going to have. So it costs about 20% more to insure an electric vehicle than a gas vehicle, mostly because EVs cost more to buy and to repair, right? So these EV makers are going to essentially have a monopoly on the entire market, on all the parts, on everything. So I mean, it's going to be a major overhaul, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to what is coming for homes. They say the future is now. And what they say here is the world is going electric, not just for cars, buildings too. Why? Well, including homes, buildings emit approximately 13% of this, 13%. And the pollutants that cause climate, not counting the pollution from generating electricity off-site, the only way to operate a zero carbon building, which differs from a net zero building, is to avoid gas appliances and to make your home all electric powered by renewable energy. The other driver is indoor air quality. The EPA recognizes that a growing body of scientific evidence has indicated that the air within homes and other buildings can be more seriously polluted than with outdoor air in even the largest and most industrialized cities. The 40 million homes and apartments that rely on gas kitchens and stoves are particularly a problem. A recent study concluded that there are well-documented risks to respiratory health from gas stove pollutions. A separate report out of UCLA focuses on indoor and outdoor air quality in California concluded that concentrations of carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide during cooking events can exceed the levels set by national and California's based ambient air quality standards. And so what they say to do to your home is something that we all need to really look at, because this is what I think is going to be coming. I mean, they say it right here. So look at this. I'll show you the picture here so you can see how big of an overhaul this is. So energy efficient windows, insulate and reduce noise. Solar panels let home owners produce their own power. Ceiling fans help circulate air. Heat pump dryers are 40 to 50% more efficient than gas dryers. High level of insulation minimize the effect of outside temperatures on indoor air. Electric vehicles can run off electricity generated at home. Water pump heaters, right? HVACs, home appliances, induction stoves. It's an overhaul of one's property. It's an absolute overhaul. And so this is what's coming. It's going to be law. So government is slowly swinging into action, passing building codes that mandate all electric buildings, a movement known as decarbonization or electrification. Washington, D.C. is one of 100 cities pushing for electrification as part of a larger climate mandate. New York City, Local Law 97, for example, applies to large residential buildings and takes effect this year. More than 50 California cities have adopted REACH codes, that is, building codes that go beyond the minimum statewide requirements. These may fully or partially forbid natural gas in new buildings. More localities will follow. The next version, Title 24, the energy efficiency part of California's building code, takes effect January 1, 2023, will require that single-family homes include 240-volt wiring for electric space heating, water heaters, cooktops, clothes dryers. With the wiring mandate, all electric may be the lowest cost option. In multiple products, the system advances in heat pumps technology, making the decision easier via long-term savings and the cost of GHG. Now, what's very fascinating here is what they're doing in Ithaca, New York around this, because this all kind of ties together. Everything is about, changing the energy. So whether you change the energy and, how we drive around or how we get energy for our homes, what they're doing in Ithaca, New York, they're going all electric. It's the first city in America to do this. And this happened about 2 years ago. They're getting direct funding. They're getting direct funding from investors. The investors will pay for the upgrades, but they get a lien on the property. And so this is what's happening in Ithaca, New York. But the big question is, when you live in a world, where interest rates are through the roof, like right now compared to where they were a couple of years ago, and many people don't have, even $500 or $1,000 in the bank, and some of these mandates are $50,000 or more, how does one afford it? Well, they have to get a loan, right? Who do they get a loan from? They're going to get a loan from private equity investors. At least that's what's happening, and they've reported on this on CNBC. You can even search it yourself. Ithaca, New York decarbonization. You can read the article. And this is what's happening. So we're witnessing something really, really big. What I think is going to happen is first we're going to see values of gas-powered vehicles fall in a very, very big way. And then I think we're going to start to see a lot of change in the way people look at these costs and these expenses with bringing these these old properties up to these new codes. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think we're walking into a scenario where we're going to start to see used car prices drop 30, 40, 50% over the next year or 2 years? It's looking like it. And drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history. We're watching everything change right now, whether it be from cars, whether it be from real estate, whether it be food. Everything across the entire economy is changing. So if you want to position yourself for funding, we'd love to help you if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any issue at all in your credit report. Go to GreatCreditFast.com. You can click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free study session for tomorrow, and I'll catch you next video.